What's up YouTube? Graylan Stewart here again with another video. Today is my vlog day. I call it Work Wednesdays. You basically get to watch me work while I rant on about whatever comes to my mind. So as you know, if you follow me at all, last week was our first full week of doing TV ads, and it was surprisingly not too bad. We got a lot of rural leads like I thought we would, just like radio does, but you just got to filter through those, and sometimes you can make deals out of those. You just got to buy them. Like kind of our method on those rural leads, those little tiny towns, rural, it's hard to say that word, but those little tiny towns, basically what we try to do, so we have a high and a low range. We want to be like below the low typically, and if it's a really small little podunk town, then we want to be like half of what our low is. Just to even have a chance, to be honest. We could get a lot more contracts than we do. There's companies out there bragging about how many contracts they get all the time, and my mindset's just different. I want to get deals locked up that we can actually have a chance to sell, not just lock up deals and waste everybody's time, And, at the same time, you gotta be careful. Because there's a fine line. That's what I was trying to say. You don't want to just pass on deals all day either. But, if you got a tiny little town and you look it up in your system where you don't even have buyers there and there's just really not even a chance, then it's almost a waste of time unless we can get it like so dirt cheap we can potentially sell it to like just a local rich person, local person. There's always these handful of local guys that just happen to be landlords. They're not really investors. They don't really know what they're doing, but they just know or have heard that you need to buy real estate. So that's what they do because they have the money. So there's always sometimes you can sell to those because we've done that before, but a lot of them we just pass on. So I don't know, maybe my mindset should change, but that's kind of how we do things as opposed to, sure, we could get 4 or 5 contracts in a week, every week probably, if we just locked up anything and everything, like a lot of companies do, I think. But, I don't want 60 or 70% of those to fall off because we can't find a buyer or something. So it's kind of what we do. But anyways, I don't even know how I got on that subject, but last week we started TV and it went well. So yeah, that's where I was going with it, I guess, because we got a lot of little town leads, but we did lock one up because it's fairly close to major metro in Oklahoma City, and that's where we do our TV ads. So we locked that up. We got it crazy cheap. We got it for $5,000, and initially we thought the ARV was like 55 to 60, but really looking at it closer, I think the ARV is like $100,000. It's crazy. That's typically a deal that I would usually buy myself, because I like those low-end small town deals because you can build your wealth faster, and you're in it so little that it's hard to lose on those, but it is in pretty bad shape. It probably needs to get 20 to 30 like a minimum, a renovation, and technically you could do a full gut remodel on the place, but if you're fixing it for a rental, then you could probably actually get away with maybe $20,000, I'm guessing, for that place, because paint and carpet, or paint and flooring at least, go a long way in rental properties, because that's the main goal. I know, like the burst strategy, you want to fully remodel the place, and then rent it out and all that, but sometimes on these lower end houses it's not even worth doing that, but at the same time you want to fix it good enough to where you're not going to have issues later. So that's kind of what I do on those super low-end places. We just make it safe, affordable, clean, livable, to where it still looks pretty decent too. So we always typically do like new paint, new flooring, and then just make sure, we don't even replace the plumbing and electric unless it's absolutely necessary. But we just make sure it's all working order, basically up to code, nothing dangerous and things like that. Put in some decent used appliances and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I do on the low end rentals. But anyways, property we got in this town called Chandler, Oklahoma. It's probably 45 minutes from Oklahoma City. I think it's northeast of Oklahoma City. I've been there a couple times in the past. but back in my Yellow Page days. But anyways, you can't go wrong with the $5,000 house, I don't think. Maybe, but I don't think so. So we should be able to wholesale that and make some decent money. And it's funny because actually our where we put our deals in contract and in escrow at the title company, the escrow officer actually said that she might be interested in it because they have a rent house right across the street from it. So who knows? She might be a buyer for it. But nevertheless, if we can't make a decent amount on it, then I'll probably just go ahead and buy it for myself because, that's my goal too, is to buy, to build wealth. And if you can get a $105,000 house for $5, put 20 in it, so you're in it for 25, then I've got instant $75,000 to $80,000 equity. So that's how you build wealth fast. That's how I've done it. I bought these super smoking deals and fix them up, and their houses are worth a lot. So most of my properties are free and clear, because a lot of them I've bought, for 5, 10, 15, 20 grand, and then put that much in it. But then they're usually worth, triple to quadruple what I've got in it. So that's how you do it, y'all. So you look a lot better on paper for banks if you wanted to get a loan or anything. But anyways, so other news, I guess. I actually got a free wholesaling course that I did. Of course, I have the videos on YouTube, that I've done like step-by-step courses. But I actually came out with an absolutely free course. Of course, I have my paid wholesale course where it's more of a deep dive into everything you need to know. But I have the free wholesaling course. If any of y'all are interested in that, just hit me up and I'll send you the link. There's no strings attached. It's 100% free. And it pretty much walks you through the process, explains the basics and all those things. So I put that together just to add value. But I also have, the option, if those that want to really dig in deep and make this a business to where they can sustain that for a long period of time and make it a lot of money and just shorten your learning curve, really. So I do have the paid deep dive version, which is just more in-depth, step-by-step, action steps and all those things. But the free course is awesome too, for the super action takers out there. It's there for you. So hit me up if you want that. It's free. But anyways, I was bragging. I've come to learn every time you brag on somebody, a lot of times it backfires. Or it's just like when you brag on yourself or brag on what you're doing before it actually happens. A lot of times that backfires too. For an example, sometimes you're talking about, this big deal that we got, everything's in place. And then you're talking about all that before it happens. And then it actually comes to fruition, closing day and all that. Okay, and it wasn't as good as you thought it should have been or that you expected it to be. So it kind of backfired on you. But the same thing goes when you brag on people sometimes before, a little early. It's like when you jump the gun a little bit, it didn't always work out, which it sucks real bad. Because I think last week's Work Wednesday. Sorry guys, got to get drinks here and there. But I think last week's Work Wednesday is when I talked about my new star employee, and she is awesome, but something's going on. I don't know. I think she's having personal issues, so that's my example. I kind of jumped the gun. Maybe I should have waited several months before I bragged about how amazing she was. She is still amazing, don't get me wrong, but there's definitely some issues. I think it's personal life to where it's preventing her and hurting her work life. So anyways, but yeah, today we're just trying to maximize these TV leads that we're getting. Also, I started the new cold calling company on April 1st, so not even a week into that yet, and we actually got 2 really hot leads the very first day. And to be honest, I've been doing cold calling in-house with VAs and things for, close to 3 years now. And at least one of those leads are probably the hottest cold calling lead that we've ever had. And that was day one with this new company. So, which is good because I expected it to be next level, super amazing because it's literally 10 times more than I've ever spent on cold calling. So they got to show their worth, and so far they have. So it's only been a few days into that, but it looks like we definitely should be able to close. And when I say hot leads, I'm talking they give us leads that are not only motivated necessarily, but they want much less than the Zestimate. They've got different tiers where they score their leads when they give them to us. And the hottest leads are typically, I think they're like, they want, I don't remember the exact numbers, but like 50 to 70% of the Zestimate. That's already in the range that they're asking or that they said that they would do. So that alone is a smoking deal. If we just lock up the contract in that range that they agreed on, we're going to win in most cases. Because a lot of cases, we don't even have to necessarily know much about a property. As long as we know what the ARV is, we have a range that we go by and we can lock up a deal. And that's honestly how Ashley, she's been with me the longest for acquisitions. I think that's how she acquisitions probably 90% of her deals. She ends up doing a deeper dive into the comps and things like that. But initially, she just makes sure that they're in the range that we know that we need to be at based on the ARV. And if they're in that, she's going to lock it up. And she'll figure out comps after, they've already agreed on it and everything. So, and that's worked out really well for us. That's how she does it for the most part. So, we, like I've said in many other videos, people try to dog on Zillow and stuff like that, but they're getting better and better and better. We pretty much have always based our offers based on what the Zestimate is, and we just have our range from there. It's not always perfect, obviously. Sometimes it's completely off. Sometimes it's way higher than it should be. Sometimes it's way lower than it should be. But for the most part, overall, just kind of generally speaking, it's pretty good to use. So, like I said, we could make the offer and get the deal, get it inked and everything based on, an offer range based off of this Zestimate. But then we still deep dive into the comps and making sure we got everything right. And sometimes we have a little better deal than we thought. And sometimes it's not quite as good as we thought because, Zestimate was wrong. But if we buy within that range that we have set, percent of the time, we're good. So, anyways, not even sure how I got off on that tangent, but nevertheless, the two new marketing channels. Of course, I've always done cold calling, but this is a different type of cold calling. So it's kind of a new for us because it's completely different than what we've had before. So that cold calling and the TV ads, so far I'm happy with those, but they got to produce, right? I fully expect us to get contracts every single week from at least from each one of those marketing channels, and honestly from radio too. So if we don't get a contract every week from radio, TV, and cold calling, I'm basically disappointed. So if we don't have 3, 6, 9, 12 contracts a month just from those three marketing channels, then in my eyes, acquisitions are not doing their job. That's just the fact of the matter. Because if you're getting leads that are super hot, wanting 50% of his estimate, and you can't close that, then I need different closers, period. So that's kind of my mindset, there's a certain goal that I have, and I try to portray that to the team. And if the team can't get on board with me to try to fulfill those goals, then, you might need to replace people, But, it's new marketing channels. I'm not dogging out my team or anything. Everybody's doing a good job. But that's just the expectations that I have, and if we can't fulfill those expectations, then I got to find somebody that can. Because we definitely have the marketing in place. We've got the systems and processes in place to succeed. We've got the hot leads there. All we need is closers to close them. Dispo managers got to be closers to close buyers. And there's no reason we can't do several $100,000 per month based on everything we have in place. So if we can't get those goals, you got to find somebody that can get them for you. So anyway, that's my little rant, I guess. But other than that, still posting every day on YouTube and TikTok. I'm trying to get to where I can actually start posting on all social media several times a day. It's just hard though, because I can't do that myself, so I'm going to have somebody help me do that because I can't physically manage all that by myself when I'm still running a company, and I'm still reviewing some of the things that acquisitions are doing, if they have a question or whatever. But for the most part, even just making content and putting it out there is a lot of work, y'all. So anyways, but I'm going to do it and make it happen just to broaden my brand a little bit more, and just to let people know more of what I do, because there's tons of connections that I have throughout the whole United States, at least. A lot of them don't even know what I do, y'all. Yeah, even though I do this all day, every day, and I have for going on 4 years now, there's still a ton of people that don't know what I do. And that's unfortunate, because they might have somebody that they know that needs to sell their house. And we can help them. That's what we are. We're in the business to solve these problems. And if they don't know that I'm a problem solver as far as houses go, then that's my fault. So that's why I'm trying to make a push for getting out there more on social media, because I rarely post on most social media except for YouTube and TikTok. All the rest I very rarely post at all. So I've got to just get out there more and do it more. But anyways, that's really all I got for y'all today. I'm just kind of getting started, going through the day and seeing what we got coming up. Got to get some more closings, obviously. Everybody's got to make money, so we got to push for that. So anyways, hope you guys are doing good. Hopefully you got a gem or two out of this little Work Wednesday rant. But nevertheless, if you stuck around this long, please like, subscribe, share this content, share my channel if you would. That would help. It would help your friends. It would help me also. And definitely hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload. So anyways, see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.